buongiorno. Grazie, un saluto ai coordinatori della sessione e agli organizzatori del convegno. Ci siamo organizzati con la collega Ordoñez in modo tale che io faccia una breve introduzione e poi entrerà un po' più nel merito appunto lei. Abbiamo deciso di concentrarci sulle città europee, perché in qualche modo sono proprio le città che rappresentano le questioni, forse in modo più evidente rispetto agli altri contesti, agli altri luoghi, rappresentano le questioni a cui faceva riferimento appunto il professore Amato. Se volessimo restringere sinteticamente le questioni che poniamo in discussione probabilmente sono due, cioè verso quale modello organizzativo e di sviluppo si stanno orientando le città europee e soprattutto quale ruolo svolge l'Unione Europea in questo processo di trasformazione. Trasformazione che è chiaramente individuabile e visibile nelle città, che cambiano dal punto di vista socio-economico, con delle concentrazioni di potere di diverso tipo, finanziario, della conoscenza, dell'intelligence, dell'innovazione e della tecnologia, anche dal punto di vista simbolico. Diciamo, pensiamo per esempio alla concentrazione delle industrie culturali appunto negli ambienti urbani, e poi anche materialmente fisico. Mi viene in mente proprio in questi giorni, gira su Facebook qui da noi un video realizzato dalla Red Bull a Palermo con il campione del mondo che attraversa le città a bordo della sua macchina. Ecco, quello è un grandissimo spot di una città, di un centro storico che però è per turisti, probabilmente. Quindi anche le città cambiano fisicamente. Sono luoghi interessanti. Ecco, le questioni che poniamo, oltre appunto quelle che riguardano le trasformazioni, le innovazioni sulle quali la collega entrerà anche grazie alla sua competenza sui meccanismi dell'Unione Europea e sulle politiche europee, e quindi lei entrerà certamente più nel dettaglio. Le questioni che poniamo sono diverse. Una di queste personalmente mi sembra particolarmente interessante, e cioè capire se le città stanno in qualche modo prendendo il ruolo di quelli che erano considerati i territori nelle politiche di coesione dell'Unione Europea. Perché oggi nelle città troviamo o cerchiamo appunto quegli elementi che erano tipici dell'approccio bottom-up delle precedenti programmazioni stagioni europee, che vedevano appunto nei contesti locali la sostenibilità ambientale, soprattutto la sostenibilità sociale, l'innovazione, la progettualità. Ecco, è come se tutte queste cose oggi fossero concentrate sempre di più negli ambienti urbani, non si capisce se a scapito degli altri, diciamo, spazi. Certamente è un dato del 2019, l'Unione Europea ha destinato per le politiche di coesione una somma 3 volte superiore, ha destinato, diciamo, alle aree urbane una somma 165 miliardi circa, 3 volte superiore a quella che invece è stata destinata alle aree rurali, circa 45 miliardi. Quindi è chiaramente una scelta di campo. È come se ci fosse un reindirizzamento delle politiche, una ricentralizzazione di finanziamenti e funzioni. Quindi è interessante capire se è venuto questo scambio, questo processo, e soprattutto chi è stato l'autore di diciamo, di questo cambio di prospettiva, se risponde a una logica top-down o a una logica bottom-up, cioè quanto hanno contribuito le comunità locali rispetto a questo processo, a questo cambiamento. Lo coglie, e chiudo, lo coglie questo, diciamo, questo passaggio Aldo Bonomi, che molti di voi conosceranno come uno dei più importanti esperti di sviluppo locale in Italia degli ultimi anni, che in un suo libro recente del 2017, Dalla Smart City alla Smart Land, diciamo, coglie appunto questo questo passaggio, questo cambio di prospettiva. In qualche modo lui ottimisticamente lo risolve ritenendo che, lo cito, smart land è l'adattamento al contesto italiano delle piattaforme territoriali del concetto di smart city nella prospettiva della sostenibilità e delle green economy, cioè è come se in qualche modo le emergenze, gli esiti di quello che avviene nelle città oggi, le trasformazioni che stanno investendo le città oggi, possano essere trasferite in un ambiente che è quello più consono allo sviluppo, almeno nella più recente storia italiana, che è quello appunto dello sviluppo locale e dei territori. Io lascio la parola alla collega, prego Dolores, a te, grazie.
Buongiorno a tutti, grazie mille Maurizio. Prima di tutto mi devo scusare perché il mio italiano non è così buono e dopo la mia presentazione la farò in inglese per un motivo di terminologia. Quando abbiamo cominciato a pensare in questa sessione, abbiamo visto l'importanza di questa rete, di queste normative, per vedere anche quali sono queste difficoltà, queste reti che hanno marcato tutte le tendenze in tutte queste nuove politiche europee. Come ha detto Maurizio, hanno cominciato anni fa con tutte le parti delle smart city, ma questo concetto è in continuo sviluppo, perché alla fine si è cominciato a parlare della tecnologia, si è cominciato a parlare di queste necessità che hanno le città, ma alla fine loro hanno scoperto che sono le persone le cose più importanti. Dunque dobbiamo pensare nella qualità di vita di queste persone, le persone che abitano a queste città. Per cui quando si sta parlando di queste città intelligenti, sono le città della gente. Dunque devono essere rispettose con l'ambiente, ma devono essere anche adattate a queste necessità che hanno le persone che abitano in queste città. Dunque adesso comincio a condividere il mio schermo. Spero tutti li potete vedere. Vedete il schermo? Sì?
Sì, sì, Dolores, si vede.
Ok, benissimo. So I'm going to switch to, to English so it will be easier. Sorry for that. So we started with these challenges affecting the quality of life. So we all know now that so the cities are very crowded spaces and not only the big cities. So this is some challenges that are also affecting the medium and also the small cities. So these traffic jams and the pollution that is also caused, but not only by the mobility, but also by the intensive use of resources. We're finding some cities that are lacking of some fundamental resources. There are problems with water scarcity, but also there are lots of problems related, for example, with waste management. And every time more, this pollution is not only the air quality, but also is related with other easy things to understand as noise. Of course, the electrical mobility and the new patterns in the mobility is affecting also how the cities are going to be structured and distributed. But at the end, it's very easy to think in the new cities of the future when they start from the scratch. But we have to take into account that the cities are there for many, many years. And it's very complicated to change roads, to change buildings, and to change all the structure from the city to start from the scratch. And this is also very important because when we are defining which are the services that are needed for the cities, we really need to think in this planning. And the planning of the cities is completely different from one city to another. So the regulations at local, regional, national level are completely different. And this something creates a lot of complexities that need to be tackled, perhaps at a supranational or supra-municipal level. Aging population, it's a challenge. So every time more we find that the elder people are living in the cities and perhaps the services that are offered in these cities are not really adapted to their needs. And then we have the new trends as gentrification. So it's a new word, as most of the words that are appearing now at European level. And this means that the people are together in the city, but too many people living in the same city and together with other effects like the tourism that it generated these problems that they consider that the city centers are becoming thematic parks. And this is a problem because we are losing the identities of our cities. And this is something that we really need to solve because the cities are cities to live and also to work. And then, of course, the digital technologies are there, but technologies are tools. and are tools to solve problems. Not only the fact of having a technology is going to solve all the needs of the citizens. So we really need to adapt all the technological developments of the real needs. The COVID arrived, and with the COVID arrive also new trends. We are now discussing about the digital nomads, but for that we need also good technological connectivity infrastructure. So 5G, now 6G, satellite, and these kind of things. Where we are speaking about teleworking, but now we are also making a lot of surveys, and we are seeing that not all workers are completely satisfied from working from home. So we are socials. So the humans need to be in connection one to another. Then all the trends related to sustainability. It was thought that thanks to COVID, we will be more sustainable, but at the end, COVID is here for more than 1.5 years. And at the end, we are recovering all the same problems that we had before the COVID arrived. New concepts as a slow life, to enjoy our life and try to get more balance among our personal and professional life. And then all these new trends related to the micromobility. So you know that nowadays all the cities, they are working with this 30-kilometer city, this 15-minute city, and all these new trends that are appearing in the cities. But at the end, we really need to try to generate this coexistence among the different mobility services that exist along the cities. And then, of course, the rural areas as a complementarity of the urban areas. So we really need to try to start thinking that perhaps not everybody should live in the cities. And we really need to start thinking in which services can be offered from the cities to the rural areas and to generate more coexistence possibilities. So the urban agenda was created in 2016, and the European Union is seeing the cities is the source, but at the same time, the solution to all the economic, environmental, and social challenges. So United Nations is saying that in 2015, 70% of the population will live in cities, and this will generate a lot of challenges. So energy is a big challenge, but at the same time, we are seeing every time more that our roofs, the roofs of the buildings are going to become the places where the renewables are going to be located. But how are we going to manage all the renewables? So we are seeing the importance of data every time more. So this new data economy, how is going to affect this data economy to citizens? Are going to be created any kind of sovereignty for the data management, and how it's going to affect the local and regional policies related to urban development. At the end, the urban agenda has been renewed, and we have this new urban agenda because they were aware that 80% of the energy is used in cities. And at the same time, the cities are produce 85% of our GDP. So the cohesion policy beyond 2020 is based in 5 main pillars. So a smarter, greener, connected, social Europe, and then this new objective on how the European Union can support the local development. That's why, as Maurizio has mentioned, 6% of the ERDF is going to be dedicated to the European urban initiative together with the urban cohesion policy. New funds are going to be created, but at the same time, we will find the challenge how the cities, all kinds of cities, the small and the big ones, are going to be able to manage all these funds that comes together with all these initiatives. So we really need to create this urban agenda in which this public-private partnership, in which public and private entities can cooperate. Of course, in this equation, also the research centers, the academia, should be included because we really need to think in the future, and we really need to work all together to deal with these very important challenges that we are going to face. At the end, they are seeing that we really need to involve as much stakeholders as possible. And here in this figure, you can see how the new urban agenda is contributing to Sustainable Development Goals of United Nations. So there has been established some priorities, and each priority is directly contributing to one of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And in the urban agenda has been established some kind of actions. So I think all of us has heard about these new circular economy initiatives. This circularity is not just related to waste, but also now it's now going a step further. And we are speaking about sustainability also, for example, in the energy field. So every time more, we're going towards these new concepts of circularity that are mostly related to the collaboration, the possibility that the different stakeholders in any value chain can work together in order to make the best of our resources. Then talent. So this is a big problem for the cities, especially for the smaller ones. So how can we retain the talent? So it's very important to generate this matching among supply and demand. So the local path for regeneration. So as it has been mentioned, so the cities are old. So and not always the urban master plan has taken into account some of the neighborhoods that need more regeneration. So this is something in which the urban agenda is focusing, trying to use and promote the use of renewables, the new materials for construction, efficiency when constructing the new buildings. Then affordable housing, because at the end we are finding that the poverty in the cities, it's a big problem that should be faced. And then the problems with air quality. So now with COVID, perhaps many people have forgotten that before COVID, we were in the news reading all the time about the cities as in China, but also in Europe. So with the problems of the air quality and how these problems related with air quality was directly affecting the health of the citizens. Those are some of the biggest steps. And the European Union, in order to complement this urban agenda, has launched different European initiatives. Living in EU is to help the cities to work together towards the digitalization, the digital transformation of the cities, because at the end, the citizens are digital. We are connected all the time. So all of us has a smartphone, and every time more, we are living in a virtual world. At the same time, the cities are not really adapted, and the public administration is not adapted at all to the needs of this new digital world. So it's very important to help to the cities to this digital transformation. And how are we going to do it? So we cannot start from scratch. So we have a lot of cities that are more advanced in the use of technologies. So we really need to put them together, to share, to collaborate, to exchange what was working in a city and what's not. How are we going to learn from the experience of the others? How are we going to generate common platforms and not to start again and to make a vendor locking platforms in which we cannot scale the solutions. And then, of course, there are a lot of regulations. So the Energy Performance of Building Directive, it has been very important for the European Union, trying to make buildings every time more efficient. And then initiatives as the Covenant of Mayors, in which there are a specific topic, this is for climate and energy. The cities should be every time better places to live and to work. And for that, it is important that the mayors of the cities are convinced and are regulating and are generating initiatives towards these more sustainable and climate respectful tendencies. Smart cities are defined as this place where traditional networks and services are made more efficient with the use of digital solutions. But when we are discussing about these digital solutions should be really adapted to the needs of the cities and should be really adapted to the needs of the people. This is fundamental. So the technology already exists. Technology can solve most of the problems, but then technology has their own challenges. And the smart cities, one of the most important challenges that they are facing is the adaptation to the real needs of the citizens. The copy-paste doesn't work from one city to another. And then there are other problems related to the interoperability of the solutions that are being developed by the different departments of the cities, and then from one city to another, because at the end, sometimes we forget that the frontiers are only on the paper, but for the citizen, this frontier doesn't exist. So a citizen going from one municipality to another, they want to receive the same services with independence where they are located. And this is very important to be taken into account when defining the cities of the future. There are a very important initiative. So this initiative started in 2018 with the Digital City Challenge. And now in 2020, it was launched and approved the Intelligent City Challenge. Here is saying 126 cities, but at the end we are 130 cities with the mentor cities. We have some Italian cities. I had the pleasure to work with cities like L'Aquila or Venezia. Also the metropolitan city of Rome is part of this network. And in this network is a program of mentoring to cities to help them to understand which are the challenges of the cities. Another important problem for the cities is that their day-to-day make that all these European initiatives sometimes seems to be very far away. So sometimes the terminology that is being used at European level is not always quite understandable for the cities. So for example, with the Green Deal, now we are trying to adapt it to the local Green Deals. So it is more adapted to the real needs of the local environments. And that's all, only to remember, because I'm out of the time, but is the people-centric approach. It's very important to take into account the people should be in the center of any policy. So all the challenges, technology, sustainability, and policies should be related to cover all the problems and the challenges that the cities are living, but the people are living in the cities. So that's all. Grazie mille, and scusi per questi minuti di ritardo.